What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1982 movie Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. So this movie is directed by Carl Reiner, and in this movie we follow Juliet Forrest, who is convinced that the reported death of her father in a mountain car crash was no accident. Her father was a prominent cheese scientist working on a secret recipe to prove it was murder. She enlists the services of Private Eye Rigby Reardon, and he finds a slip of paper containing a list of people who are the friends and enemies of Carlotta. So this is a hilarious send-up of detective noir movies. Steve Martin is just absolutely hilarious in this movie, and there are some really, really funny moments throughout this whole movie. It played with deadpan humor and stuff, and they do a really good job at spoofing these type of movies and everything. And I love like the look and feel of the movie. It feels like it was a movie that came out of the 40s or maybe 50s, and everything. It doesn't feel like an 80s movie at all, and everything. They did a good job of getting that look and vibe down perfectly. And I think the cast in here are really great. Steve Martin is really good, and here is Rigby Reardon. He just is absolutely hilarious. It's not one of my most favorite performances of his, but he is dedicated and does a really great job at bringing the humor and the comedy that you would expect from this type of movie, and it works all because of his humor and stuff too. He's just absolutely hilarious. And Rachel Ward is in here too as Juliet Forrest, and she's great too, and her chemistry with Steve Martin is really good. They work really good together, and Carl Reiner has a small role in here too as one of the as a couple of characters in here. He's pretty good. Alan Ladd, and everything. There's a bunch of like little cameos from actors and stuff that appeared in detective movies throughout the 40s and 50s and stuff, and everything. Most of them are used through archive footage of other movies and stuff, so a lot of that stuff flew over my head and everything, because I've never really gotten into the noir detective movies. I never have liked noir detective movies. It's just not my thing and everything, and so all the jokes and stuff didn't always land for me, but most of them did. Most of them were just funny, silly Steve Martin being Steve Martin and stuff, but a lot of this stuff went over my head too, because I'm not familiar with the movies that the archive footage is used from and stuff. So this is one of those movies. It's not one of my most favorite Steve Martin movies. It's not one that I typically go to if I'm really wanting to watch one of his movies or anything. But for what it is, it's an okay time and everything, and everything. So I'd say, all in all, this is a fun movie. It's a good enough spoof, but not one of my favorite Steve Martin movies. It's just alright and everything. So I don't have a lot else I really can say about it, except I think it looks good. It has some really laugh out loud hilarious moments with Steve Martin and stuff. He is so good at doing physical comedy and stuff, and there is quite a bit of that too. And like there's a part where he dresses up as a woman and stuff. It's just really funny stuff and everything. Steve Martin does such a great job with his little disguises and being his silly self and bringing that silliness to the more serious tone of a detective noir. It works really well and everything. So all in all, I'd say I'd give this movie a 7 out of 10. I really enjoy it. I don't really care for the genre it spoofs and stuff, but it is a fun movie and everything. I'm sure I'd enjoy it even more if I was familiar with the movies that it's spoofing, but I don't really care to go back and watch a whole bunch of movies from the 40s and 50s that I'm just not interested in. But I do like this movie quite a bit. I would recommend it if you're into spoof movies, or if you're into Steve Martin and for some reason haven't seen this one. It's worth a watch and everything. It's not one of his best or anything, but it's a decent enough time. So I'd say I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.